I hear from people that tell me they're not so sure they're getting signs from their loved one. And I have a challenge for you if this relates to you. I challenge you in the weeks ahead to simply become more aware and then maybe trusting of what is showing up for you and in front of you. And I have a great example of that with a mother in spirit who is actually giving me physical things in order to nudge me to not forget about reaching back out to her daughter. And I'm going to tell you that little story because it's just a beautiful way that our mediumship connection came together. So I have a client, a woman who wrote me to schedule a mediumship session via email, and in the time that she wrote me, I had a flood happening in the basement, just a ton of just stuff happening in life all at the same time, and it was causing me to just delay in getting back to her. And it's like I remembered that she had written me, and I'm really good usually about writing people right away, but it was just sort of getting lost in the busyness of life, and I wasn't getting back to her. And one day I was driving home from the grocery store and I was having this thought, oh my gosh, for the last few days in a row, I have kept thinking about writing this woman back. I mean, she wrote me like 2 weeks ago and I just keep forgetting. I have to remember. And as I was having that thought, I'm driving down the road, a huge, probably like almost the size of my hand, just a little smaller, black butterfly smacked in the windshield, kind of just right in front of me. And I remember thinking to myself, just because we often associate butterflies with spiritual things, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's a sign. But flood cleanup was happening, life was busy, and I forgot yet again. And the next morning on my walk, so I hadn't written her back and I wasn't thinking about her, but the next morning on my walk, as I remembered, oh my gosh, I didn't write that woman back again. And as I'm thinking about that, I see not so huge of a one, but this beautiful small black butterfly with blue spots just sort of flying in front of me. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. When I thought about her yesterday, I also saw a black butterfly. And so I kept walking and was, thinking over my other things, to-do list and whatever else there might be. And I got out my phone to put a note in my calendar to remind myself to find her email and write her back. And as I was doing that, here comes another black butterfly with blue spots. Not the same one, a different one. And I thought, okay, this is three in a row, and they were all happening when I was thinking of this woman. And there's a nudge that came with it, just an internal knowing, and this is the trust part. You have to trust because it does come with like a tug on the heart. This is a sign, a thing. It's not just coincidence. But I don't have any evidence of that, right? I have to trust. And with time, you can come to really feel when you have that internal tug, and that is your loved ones telling you, no, this is a sign. But I was able to get some confirmation. So because I put that note in my phone, I did reach out to her a few hours later to schedule our session. And I said, hey, I have to share something with you. The last few days in a row, I kept thinking about how I have to connect with you, and I've just been so busy, it keeps getting lost in my mind. But the last few days, each time that I thought about you, a big black butterfly appeared, and I told her about the windshield when I was driving, and then I told her about the black butterflies with blue spots while I was on my walk. And I'm just curious if this is at all a sign for you for a loved one in spirit that you really want to connect with. And she wrote back just a couple hours later and said, oh my gosh, my mom said before she passed that when she passes, she's going to come back as a magnificent swallowtail butterfly. And I love that because here's the extra amazing part. My husband, when I was walking that day and had seen the couple of black butterflies with the blue spots, also saw a black butterfly with the blue spots. But he happened to get out his CCAP and take a picture of it. And what kind of butterfly was it? You guessed it, a swallowtail butterfly. I just love that so much. It is so fun, and it was her mother in spirit's way of saying, you get back to my daughter, don't you forget, you keep forgetting, and I'm gonna make sure you remember. At the same time, we have to choose to sort of be mindful and be aware of what is being presented to us, because it's really easy to be on a walk, have a couple butterflies around, and honestly not even notice them because our minds are so engrossed in our own stuff. And a key to noticing signs from your loved ones is practicing mindfulness, slowing down, really being present. A great way to do that is when you're having meals. When you're having meals, really notice your food. Notice how it tastes. Notice how it smells. Just really be present with yourself and the time and the beautiful meal that you're having. Other ways to do that, that especially work for me, are being out on walks in nature. And again, just really being mindful. Instead of walking and thinking about all kinds of other things, set the intention to be in the present moment and really be aware of the beauty that's surrounding you in sights, in sounds, in smell, in just feel like whether it's the warmth of the sun on your face, whatever it might be. Choose to really sit with the experiences of being here now. And in this way, you're training your consciousness to be more aware of what is going to be shown to you in awareness. Secondly, when you think you have a sign, for example, when I saw those butterflies and then it was the third in a row, but I still wasn't sure. I felt the tug, but I don't really have any proof, right? Now, I had the opportunity, of course, to write the client, and we had that wonderful connection. But what I would suggest to you is say, okay, I feel the tug on my heart that this is a sign. Bring it to me again in a new way. And then practice the mindfulness and just be open. You shouldn't have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You should only have to wait a few days. Just ask to be presented it again, and you can even suggest, maybe even in a new way. Be grateful in your heart for the opportunity. Feel that love. Send that love to your loved one that you're asking from for the sign. And then be mindful. Practice the mindfulness. That's your ticket to being aware of the signs, because I know that your loved ones are finding ways to communicate to you. It's a two-way street. You also have to be aware of awareness. All right, everybody, I hope you find these tips helpful and enjoyed that fun little story. Have a great rest of the week.